What's good, familia? It's your girl, Odalis Jasmine, and this is Hella Latino. Look at this 3-part podcast. Hey, this is like the UN of Latinas.
Right?
It really is. I love it.
We got Dominican, got Mexican, got Honduran, got all regions covered.
Yep.
We need South America,
Check.
actually.
Okay.
No South America, but almost UN.
Almost.
I'm
Para la
excited for
próxima.
this part too. Yes, I'm excited for this part too.
Me too.
Because now we got Tiffany here. Hey, girl. And I love this because Tiffany's gonna add this, like, you're gonna add a different layer to it. And I know we both got questions for Jackie. Jackie's in the hot seat. But there's so many more questions, so many things that we didn't cover in part 1 in terms of like products, birth control.
Yeah.
Lack of, access to healthcare. Like, there's so many things that we still have to talk about. So thank you for coming back for part 2. She got a notebook and everything.
I know, because there's just so much. There's just so much that I want to cover and make sure that I have it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And Tiffany's going to add this layer of astrology.
Yes.
And connecting it back to, like, because you mentioned it in the first one, like when you're in sync. Remind me, is it ovulation? You're in sync with the full moon?
Yes.
Or is it...
Yes. Good job. You got it.
She's paying attention.
Yes.
But that was really interesting to me. And I was like, well, Tiffany needs to be in these conversations too, because how do we sync it back to like the everyday and back to like how our natural state of like astrology or our star signs, like how does it all relate back to us? So
It's exciting.
we ready?
Yes.
Okay. I want to start with the first question, and that's, can we talk about birth control?
Yes. Let's talk about birth control, because I feel like that's just such a huge controversy, because birth control was like one of the first ways that women were able to like be in control of their own bodies, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like very like feminism, like, but also now that I know what birth control does to our body, it's like, it's like, is it feminine? Like, is it like, we were giving these, it was the pill first. And we didn't really know like the long-term effects of it all. And now we know that the pill actually depletes you from like so many nutrients, and really big ones: magnesium, vitamin B2, B6, B12, C, E, selenium, zinc, folic acid, all of these things. And
It deprives you?
yes. Like, so when you're
Wild.
eating like certain foods that have like high in folic acid, vitamin B, whatever, C, you're not absorbing them when you're on the pill.
Is that why there's this like big trend right now to have magnesium? Have you been seeing that?
Magnesium
I
in
haven't.
general is really good. It's one of the best like types of like just supplements or vitamins that you should take, or just eat like a magnesium rich foods, because it helps with your nervous system, to regulate your nervous system. And it also helps with like muscles, to relax your muscles, recovery. And then it also helps with like your mood and your sleep. So it's really good to take magnesium at night.
Period.
Yeah.
I'm Central American girl. We have bananas on deck.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Bananas on deck.
Yeah.
Okay, so interesting. But I love that you said it was like started as this feminist movement, like control of your own body.
Yeah.
Like, why is there not enough? So now there's more birth control. Sorry, so many questions.
I know,
One,
I
there's
know.
so many birth control types now. Is there one that is more helpful than the other? And then why don't we have enough education around birth control? Where can we find it?
So I think...
That's like 10 questions. in
Yeah,
one.
I know, it's okay. That's okay. I think it's also a business, right? So whenever like a girl comes to her doctor and it could be anything, like acne, it can be irregular periods, it can be painful cramps. What do they recommend? Birth control. Get on birth control. And I didn't know this, but like hardcore athletes usually don't get their periods. And so when you go to your doctor and you're having irregular periods because you're an athlete, they don't know that it happens because you're an athlete, because you're like overworking yourself.
Oh, wow.
So you don't ovulate, and if you don't ovulate, you don't have a period. Usually.
Do you think,
for athletes.
do you think that's because the body doesn't feel safe enough to have a baby?
Because
you're overworking yourself?
I don't know exactly what's happening in the body, but we're not meant to be overworked like that. And when you basically push yourself, overwork your body's going to react in different ways, right? To like cope. And so I do think that it has something to do with your body always being in like survival mode. And so in a way, it doesn't feel safe to, I guess, have a period. I don't know like physiologically what's happening. But again, when you go to the doctor, what do they recommend? Birth control. Always. And when you don't know, and if your doctor's like telling you to do that, the only way to like cure acne and, you know, painful periods, you get on it, and you don't know that all of these things are depleting you, and it also lowers your bone density. It also, and this specifically the pill, right? Wow. And then it also decreases the size of your clitoris, and that could be permanent.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that could be permanent.
This is just the pill.
This is just the pill.
So not the other.
So
you know,
the
there's like 10 million
other ones. They're all really different. So because some of them, they basically, most of them prevent ovulation. And there are certain birth controls that you bleed, like the pill, but it's not an actual period. It's just a withdrawal bleed. It's not a period. And they tell you that you're basically having a period, but you're not, because you're not ovulating. Yeah. And then there are, like, I know also the shot is also hormonal. The arm implant, it doesn't prevent ovulation, but it does drastically change like your period flow, or your, like, when I was on it, I bled for 2 months straight. Girl, straight. Yeah.
How long were you on that?
3 months. And they told me that I have to at least give it 3 months so that my body can like get used to it. And I couldn't. Like I was pad after pad after pad after pad. Like I was
For
tampon
a month
pad.
Straight?
2 months.
Oh,
2 months.
2 months straight.
2 months. Yeah. And I was anemic. And then I went to the doctor.
God.
And they were like, you want to give it at least 1 more month? And I was like, absolutely fucking not.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's
take
your
it
body's
out.
talking to me.
Yeah, take it out. And after I got off of it, I had the worst acne. And this was like mid-20s, so insecure. Because like I had like cystic acne.
Yeah. Those hurt.
Yeah. And it's embarrassing, you know?
Yeah.
And I didn't know what else to do. Like I didn't have answers. Like I was like, this is just.
Did you go back to the doctor and they were like, birth
Hell
control?
no. Every time I go to the doctor though, like to get like tested, they always like, you don't want to get on birth control? And I'm like, hell no.
She said, write that in the chart.
Literally.
Yeah. But I also want to say that like, I know that a lot of women that go on birth control isn't just to prevent pregnancy, right?
Yeah.
You should always feel like you have autonomy to your own body, and whatever feels right, you should do that, right? I'm all about that. But I also think that women aren't educated enough, and we are told that we're baby making machines, right? And we're not. We only have like a certain amount of days where we're actually fertile. And you don't need birth control to.
Can you talk about that? Because
Yes.
people think you can get pregnant at any point in your cycle, and that's a myth.
No, it is.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the cervix, right? So a little bit of anatomy. It's like the uterus, right? It's like the vagina, and then the cervix, and then the uterus, right? So the cervix is like the bodyguard, okay? So the cervix is basically like, it's gonna know when it can come inside or not. C-U-M. Come inside or not, right? So when
she said
you
the
are
bodyguard.
yeah,
That's
so
great.
when you are fertile, your cervix tilts, right? So it allows the sperm to come in, and when you're not fertile, it tilts back, and so like it basically blocks sperm.
Your cervix.
Your cervix.
Okay.
Okay, and then
Tiffany, we're gonna get tested on this later. Okay.
Yeah. So there are a couple ways to know when you're fertile. So one is knowing your body, getting used to like your phases, like when you're gonna be in your phase, and it helps to like track your cycles, and that can be like, you can track them, write them down, or you can also have an app, which is really accessible nowadays. But also cervical mucus. So cervical mucus is extremely normal, and you know when you're fertile if you have like it kind of looks like egg whites. And if you wipe, it's like very like it's slippery, right? And you can even pick it up and like you can like stretch it. That's
I love the idea. Pick it up.
yeah. Because you also have cervical mucus that's like a little clumpy and like white, and that's usually right before you ovulate. Usually.
Oh, okay.
And although that's not technically like when you're ovulating, it can still be, you can still be fertile, basically.
Oh, okay.
So the sperm
It's like
can
a pre-ovulation fertile.
Yes.
Okay.
So the sperm can live in your body for 5 days.
Oh.
Okay. So basically what's happening in your body, if you have sex right after your period, when you're getting into your fertile phase, and he comes inside you, and the sperm can live in there for 5 days. And if it's in there as you come into ovulation, boom, pregnancy.
Not paying rent.
Yeah, it just stays in there.
Okay.
Rent free.
Not even paying rent.
Yeah,
Just
rent free. Yeah. So that's a good way to know, like, your cervical mucus.
Oh wow.
If it's stretchy and like egg whites, that's when you're ovulating. That's when
or
you're fertile.
or when it's like clumpy. You said clumpy and white.
Yes.
You still may be fertile.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you got like a good week there.
Yeah.
Where you can get pregnant.
Yeah, like a week and a half, depending on the woman,
Okay.
right?
So out of the whole 28-day cycle, you have like a week and a half of where you can get pregnant.
Yeah. At most, like 2 weeks, depending on the woman. But
Okay.
Yeah. And
yeah.
those are typically the 2 weeks that we're popping, right? The
Yes.
follicular and the ovulation.
Yes. Because your body's basically
Crazy.
Your body's basically making you attractive to go get pregnant. Yeah, to go mate, to go find a mate.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then when you don't, it's like, all right, let's do this again.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
It's almost like your body's punishing you, like, oh, we didn't. Okay.
Oh, you're not gonna give me a baby? Okay.
Okay.
Fine. Let me give you cramps. Let me give you yeah. And that's usually how I teach my girls, even though it's not like normal. But that's a good way to like remember it. Yeah.
You know, Tiffany, you mentioned this, and I really love it. You were like, is it because your body feels unsafe to have a baby? You know, one thing that I think about often is we go to the doctor and we like say we're stressed or like we're being overworked or we're blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I think women are just not supposed to, and I'm saying women, not to say men don't either, but I think women are not supposed to be operating in this system.
No.
And working 40 hours a week, even when we're on our periods. Like I remember being in high school, and I went to a different high school in a different part of San Diego, and they had a swim class. Now there's a week where I'm like, I don't want to get in the water. And I remember telling my teacher, like, or my coach, I don't want to get in the water and I was kind of embarrassed to say it, but I'm like, hey, you know, it's that time of the month. And then he's like, well, the other girls just put tampons in. And I was like, yeah, I'm not allowed to put tampons in. Like,
That's
you
real.
know, culturally, like I'm not
That's
allowed.
real.
And then he's like, okay, you can sit out. But then I would like not pass swim class. And I'm like,
Oh, wow.
the thing is that like women are not supposed to be operating in this system. Like we're just stressed. And when I found out, oh, it's stress that I have, that's why I have all these things. It's not because I need birth control. It's not because I need spironolactone and all these different pills. It's because I'm just literally overstressed and I'm overworking myself.
Yeah. No.
How do you balance it?
And that's basically why a lot of athletes don't get periods. It's the amount of like stress that they're in. It boosts up their cortisol. Like it's not like a safe environment to have a period.
Yeah. No, I love that you mentioned that because I think it's something to think about. It's just we're not safe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For real.
and it's your body. It's a natural mechanism, right? Like you would want that to happen, right? If it's not safe, don't produce a baby now, because then ultimately the baby doesn't have a strong foundation to be raised in, essentially.
Yeah.
That's basically what's happening. Yeah.
And the reason why I even thought about that was because one of my homegirls was trying to get pregnant for years, and then the pandemic happened. And she like wasn't working, and she has 3 kids now. Yeah, like it's wild. She had her first, and then she had twins right after, like fertile myrtle, and she did what is it, like IV treat? Was it
IVF?
IVF. She did IVF, all the things, nothing.
Yeah.
And then when the pandemic hit, everything slowed down. Boom.
And you know, I've actually helped women get pregnant, and it's always the same. Like these women try for years, and that's all they can think about. Like, I need to get pregnant. Like, this can help me get pregnant. Like, I've done this. And I was like, you need to relax and just like really, and it'll happen. I promise you, when you just like just allow your body to just rest, and like your nervous system needs to just like feel relaxed, and that's when like the sperm will feel safe to live in there. And
That's when the bodyguard will open up the door.
The bodyguard will be like, you know what?
Because I'll let you.
Yes.
in.
Yeah. I'm gonna relax. Go ahead. Yeah.
Have
exactly.
fun. Have
Exactly. Yeah.
Fun.
That's
Okay, so birth control is one thing, but I want to talk about products because speaking of tampons, I was not allowed culturally to wear tampons, but you said they're not even good for you.
No, they're not.
So talk about the products that. There's so many things.
Girl,
talk about the products.
There's so many things. I wrote that down too. Where did that? Actually,
because you mentioned the last time, last episode, you said they just, or maybe that was off camera, but you talked about how they just started testing these products with women's blood.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, what were they? What were they using before?
Juice? I don't know. But it wasn't period blood. Like they just started and I feel like it's now that women are getting into these
spaces.
Industries. Yeah. That they're finally let's actually test this on period blood to see how it works, But a lot of
what a thought,
right? That's
what
so crazy.
Thought.
It's like what? But tampons and pads and just a lot of products in general have so many chemicals, and if you're putting them inside you, no wonder
for hours.
And then when women forget.
Girl, because that happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Dude, I heard of a story in college where this girl forgot she had a tampon in there and she almost had to get her leg amputated.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
Yeah. People get paralyzed.
How?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because of the toxins that are in there. And your body's just absorbing them.
It really is.
Yeah.
And so what are some alternatives?
Well, I use period panties.
Okay, I was gonna ask you what's your thought on that. Panties. I just started a few months ago and I love it.
No, me too. It's so comfortable.
Tampon.
Yeah. I honestly don't use a tampon anymore, and it actually causes more cramps.
Tampons do?
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's just the pressure. Your body's already it's in menstrual. When you're on your period, it's it's a inflammatory process. And so when you put a tampon in, it's it's already inflamed and you're putting more things in there, so that's one. But alternatives, period panties are the best.
What's a period panty?
So I use the disposable ones.
Okay.
And I get them at Target. And every time I bleed, I usually just stay home anyways.
Yeah.
So I don't really do much. But if I have to go out, I always wear pads now. I'm always... Or, also at Whole Foods, they sell, tampons without the plastic. Yeah, and it's just, this little thing.
Yeah.
And you just put it in there and with your finger, and then it just... Yeah. Yeah. Cool. They have some really cool alternatives at Whole Foods that I use.
What about, I've seen this trend. Wait, you don't use the disposable ones, do you?
Yeah,
no.
What do you use?
Wait, I use the period panties. If I have to go out and be really active, I will use a tampon, but I use the organic cotton ones.
Yeah.
I don't know whatever else they have in there, but I just get the ones that say that are somewhat
organic.
Yeah.
Is that a good rule of thumb? The organic?
Yeah. Okay. I do have, where's my phone?
She said pause.
Because here it is. I took a picture of all of the, and we might have to write them down on here because these words.
Here?
Somewhere right here. Yeah. Because these words are they're look at these words.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just not meant for us to understand. When you read the back of a label.
Girl.
There's and it's
Sorry, say it one more time?
Yeah. No, girl. One of them is called octamethylclotetratetrailoxane.
Girl.
And those,
if you can't pronounce it, don't put that in your body. From foods to products.
Yeah.
Household products, cleaning products, those are literal, they mimic estrogen. So when we absorb these things that we're using to clean our house, our bodies think that we're producing estrogen. And so our hormones get out of whack. Parabens, plastics, when you use plastic Tupperwares and you're putting your hot food in the plastic Tupperwares, or plastic water bottles, all of those things, the heat, the sun penetrates through the plastic and gets to your food, to your water.
Yeah.
and those are all, they all mimic estrogen, or they like decrease testosterone, or thyroid, your thyroid, and a lot of women have thyroid issues.
They do. No, I hear that all the time,
yeah.
right?
A lot of women. Yeah.
So what does it do? It mimics estrogen in what ways?
I don't know exactly like how it's happening physiologically, but I do know that it binds. Like, it's basically like, pretend like there's like an estrogen, like, and certain things have to bind to it, like a certain protein, and our bodies need to know how much estrogen to produce every month. And when we are using like fragrances, lotions, certain cosmetics, shampoos, things like that, like our bodies, even like when you go get our nails done, yes, like we're absorbing all of that, and so our bodies like absorb it, and so we're like, and so they're attaching to the proteins that are supposed to make certain like hormones.
Oh wow.
And so they're like, okay, you already have enough of that, you know, so we don't have to make enough. You know,
Abolish it all.
yeah.
Let's start fresh.
Yeah. So
wow.
that's and these are too hard like words. We'll put it on the show notes.
The show notes. But I think that's a good rule of thumb too, is like, we can't pronounce some of the foods that we're putting into our bodies. Like, that's a problem. That's literally a problem.
Yeah.
They're killing us.
I know. And the thing is, like, they know that we're gonna buy them because we don't know what the fuck we're reading.
Yeah,
like,
and you've just seen so many, like all your friends, your family, everyone that uses it. So you're like, oh yeah, I think it's just normal to put tampons on.
And it's exhausting. It's exhausting to like not know where else, like what product should I use then? You know, like, okay, if all of these are bad, like, what's my option? You know, what are my options? You know, it's exhausting to know all of this.
Last night I was reading, there's this book that it's called I Don't Believe in Astrology, and it's actually by my astrology teacher. It's really good. And she just released this book. So I was reading it last night, and she was saying that everyone's moon sign, depending on what it is, it shows you how they approach any challenge. And my moon sign is Virgo. And all earthy moon signs are like very solution oriented. And I was like, that's so wild. Like I was like, oh my God. Because that's the thing. It's like, so what do we use? Like my mind goes to like, okay, how do we fix this?
Right.
Like, what's the solution?
Right.
And it's like, I think a lot of times, one, the awareness of it, because I never even thought to look at my tampon until a few months ago, years ago, you know, like maybe like a year or two ago. Yeah. And then now that I've started doing that, I'm like, oh my gosh, so what do I use? You know, and then you find out, like, because there's even some period panties that the lining that they have has chemicals in that. So I didn't think about that.
It's exhausting.
I just bought the period penny because I was like, okay, I send my home, and then I didn't even think to look at what chemicals are, and then I'm looking on the website, and no dice.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so they would be marketing if it was good chemicals in there. So now I'm like, now I got to start the whole like period penny cycle again.
Yeah. It is. It's exhausting. It's exhausting because like all you are like on my feed, it's like, this is bad. This is bad.
Right?
They didn't tell you, but this is bad. I'm like, I believe it. I really do. But it's like, there's only polyester. Polyester also mimics estrogen.
That's wild. It's in everything.
It's
I'm
literally
like, and I'm wearing polyester, and I know this. But
girl,
I know. Or like your thongs, you know, like it's the best type of like thong to use. But now it's like wearing polyester thongs like doesn't allow your vagina to breathe, and so you're basically like living in the bacteria. Yes. Girl. And that causes like just UTI, it causes smells, it causes...
I've noticed such a difference. I've switched over to organic cotton underwear.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's organic, but it's definitely like 100% cotton underwear.
Yeah.
And I've noticed such a difference.
It's probably comfier too.
Way comfier.
Yeah.
Way comfier. Obviously, like you have the panty line, but I'm like, I'd rather be healthy.
Yeah.
You're like, y'all about to see my panty line.
Right?
Yeah, no, for real.
Y'all about to see
I think
this.
about that. I'm like, damn, like how am I gonna wear cotton underwear and leggings?
Girl, let's try it.
It's gonna be like, then the bag is just gonna be like,
redefine beauty standards. Redefine it. Redefine it.
Exactly.
But no one talks about this, and this is why you're here, because community has us at the end of the day.
Yeah,
because what they don't tell us, community will.
Yeah.
So this is why I wanted you here, and this is why we're talking about it. Speaking of products, so many other questions. Before we get into the next one, there's a trend right now about the cup that you put in.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I've
yeah.
used that too.
Yeah.
Do
What
we
do you
li-
think
do we
about
like
that?
that?
I mean, it's better, I guess, in terms of like you don't have to keep buying like pads and tampons and stuff like that. But like it's made out of plastic, and you're putting it in your body. One and two, it's bigger than a tampon.
It's bigger.
Yeah, it's bigger
I've never
than a
used
tampon.
one. I've never
Yeah.
used
Like a
one.
little,
I
like,
just
cup,
can't.
like it's just like it's
Yeah.
a bowl. It opens up.
Yeah, and you can put it in there for like 8 hours, right? And it like and then you take it out and then you just flush it out and then you put it back in. But again, I mean, it worked for me, but it does like I'm prone for like really bad cramps. Well, I used to be, and that I feel like gave me even more cramps. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, I
And
just
it's
feel
what
like
you're
we're
talking
not
about.
meant to put in
Yeah.
plastic in
Yeah.
our bodies.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I mean, to each their own. There's sometimes where like we can't, like that's like our only option sometimes, you know, when
Yeah.
swimmers, stuff like that. I know a lot of swimmers that like
Yeah.
use those.
Yeah, one of my homegirls is like a fitness instructor, and so she's always like, just very active clothing, and,
Yeah.
and she's always on the go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she like swears by them, but I
Yeah.
tried it too. It wasn't for me.
Yeah. I know. I mean, I don't think it's supposed to be for us.
You know, one thing I think about, and I'm curious if you have had this thought, but I remember I had a diagnosis, and what it really was is just stress. And my body was responding to it. But I remember going to I went to so many doctors and so many dermatologists, and I'm like trying to figure this out. And finally, I go to a doctor, and she's a Latina doctor. And I'm like, oh, hey, girl, from TJ. And she's like, in San Diego. I was like, hey, girl, hey. And she tells me, she's like, girl, honestly, just get everything lasered off. And I'm like, oh, okay. And she's like, Latinas are prone to this. Like, ingrowns are just part of the Latina, like, body. She's like, because, like, she was explaining something. But honestly, I was like, okay, Latina bodies.
Right.
It's interesting to have that idea of, like, Latinas are just prone to this.
Right.
And just taking it at face value, like, okay, I'm not going to ask any more questions, but that's interesting that a Latina body has a different setup than like a regular woman's body. But do you think about like ethnic women, do they differ like per body type? Or is one more prone to like fibroids? Is one more prone to acne, or not acne, but like ingrowns? Is one more prone to like, has that come across your minds, or has come across like your data or like what you're studying?
Yeah. I definitely know that it could be genetic as well. And I feel like melanin has a lot to do with it too. Like, but I don't know if, for example, like fibroids are like prone to like just women of color. I don't think that's right. I just think that women of color are the ones that don't know what to do and don't have the resources. And so, like we don't know what to do. We don't know what to, like, we don't have the resources. We don't have the knowledge. But I don't think that women of color precisely are more prone to certain, like.
Yeah. It's just something that I like, I guess never went deeper into, but I think about it sometimes. I'm like, wait, is it like,
but maybe
is that Latina? Like our body's just meant to be in a different type of weather, and like we're reacting to, because sometimes I be in humidity and I'm like, ooh, I belong here. Like, like I'm like my face looks clear. Like my hair actually has some volume. Like, I do think about that sometimes, like ancestrally, like where am I supposed to be? And where does my body feel safer to just like exist? And maybe that has to do with periods and how it reacts to things. And,
I definitely I think there's
something there.
I haven't come across that in like my research, so but that's definitely something like to look into for sure.
Speaking of women of color, I had a friend, so I've been like talking about part 1 of this episode for like ever to everyone, and I'm like, oh my god, so did you know blah blah blah, but I was telling my friend about the cycles and would love a refresher too on the cycles, because I love how you explained it. But she's like, well, what about me? Like, I got a hysterectomy so I don't get my periods. And I'm like, oh, does your body still go through those cycles? How do you track it?
No. So you basically, when you take your uterus out, you take off your hormones. You don't have a cycle.
Not even like mentally or emotionally, like
Yes. So hormonally you don't. But in my certification process, my instructor was like, even if these girls don't have like periods and stuff like that, like you should still train them as if they do. So we go to the moon. So they sync with the moon. So when it comes to like certain foods that you should be eating during your follicular phase, look at the moon. If it's a full moon, you're ovulating. So treat yourself like you're ovulating. That's when you push yourself. When it comes to like fitness, that's when you, go out and wear less and eat lighter foods, stuff like that. And then when it's closer to a new moon, that's when you should be more introspective. You should be winding down more as if you're on your period. So that's how we treat women with hysterectomies. Because it's good to have a balance and to have a flow. And then once you sync with the moon, as we're supposed to, I feel like you find a flow, and that's how we do it with like anybody that doesn't have periods, even if they don't have a hysterectomy. A lot of girls that are on certain birth controls that don't get periods, stuff like that, don't ovulate. Or girls that just are like hardcore athletes that don't get periods, stuff like that. We treat them the same way. We still sync them with the moon.
I can't believe I've always had a period. I've always been like regular in that way, so I don't know what it's like to not have a period. I'd be nervous.
My sisters didn't get a period like for years.
And it's high cortisol levels. That's what kind of influences
stress. Stress. It's a stressful environment for your body.
It does. Yeah. I feel like we normalize a lot of what it does to our body, because it's like, oh, I just get headaches. Oh, I just get cramps. Or, oh, it came early. Oh, it came late. Like, we just like normalize these things, but it's really the body speaking to us.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, we so much can go back to stress, and then we go to these doctors and we're asking for resources like, oh, I'm having a lot of migraines. And it's like, okay, here, take Claritin, right? Like, take a pill. And then it's like, okay, And then it's like, okay, well, now I have this problem. Okay, take this. And then it's just like you end up in this business of like pharmaceuticals, and you're just like buying and buying and buying and buying, when really it's just stress.
You're not getting to like the root.
You're not getting to the root. It's like body gentrification.
Oh, shit.
Body gentrification.
We're just putting Band-Aids on it, but we're not solving the real issue. Oh my goodness. How does it, I want to ask you, because as an astrologist, how does it relate to the moon? Like, what do you see? Because you're talking about being in sync with the moon. Is anything like coming clear to you as an astrologist?
So one, like, what I love about this new app I was telling you about, it's called Stardust. And one of my homegirls just put me onto it, and it tracks your period cycle, and also too, like, it helps to track the moon phases. So it gives you insight on like what activities to be doing based on your cycle. And what I like about it too is that before my period used to be on the full moon, now I get my period on the new moon. I don't know how and when that shifted, but it did over the past few years. And I love that it like brings in the insights of like what's happening astrologically, because it's like, you know, that's my jam. And also too, like you're saying, you know, we have so much water in our bodies. So very similarly to how the moon impacts a high tide or a low tide, it's having an impact on our bodies because we're over 70% water.
Oh, I did not think
that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Like
everything's connected.
It's all interconnected. And so because of that, you know, even the phrase lunatic is when the luna is full. Like that's where the word lunatic comes from. Because even, and actually if you look into different practices for like fasting and things like that, when we have parasites in our belly, and you know, that's pretty normal, but the parasites in your belly act up more when it's a full moon, again, because they're made up of water. And so like the vibes are high during the full moon. And so a lot of times when people do parasite cleanses, they do it according to the moon, because they cleanse and according to the gestation cycle of the eggs and stuff like that. And they get them at their peak to like get them all out. So there are ways to like optimize not only for your period and eating and seed cycling, but in addition to that, our everyday life, you know, like, so in astrology, you know, we have the new moons, and new moons are about this blank fresh start. Like when you look at the sky, when you look at the Luna, she looks black. And I always like remind everyone, this is your blank canvas to set intentions. And so astrologically, new moons are like an air cycle. So they're a time to think and reflect. And what do I want to bring in? How do I be more intentional about this, right? And so after that, the moon starts to go from that blank canvas and gets fuller and fuller and gets brighter and brighter. And so this is that part of the cycle where like you're being more active, right? Because now you've set the intention. Now I'm taking the action to call that in. And then we're in a full moon. And the full moon, every full moon, regardless of what zodiac sign it falls into, is about releasing and letting go. And so nature has these beautiful rhythms of calling things in and letting them go. Calling things in and letting them go. And I think that's a beautiful way to look at life, because people are always like, manifestation, we gotta call it. And it's like, yo, if you got this whole junk drawer full of stuff, you can't put anything else in there. Right? If you're manifesting all the time, there's no space to receive. And it's energetic. And so the full moon is more of like an earth cycle of like, let me keep it real with myself and get practical. What do I need to get rid of?
Right.
What feels ineffective? What is no longer serving me, like a lot of people say? What am I ready to cleanse and let go? The analogy I give a lot of people when I do like my full moon workshops, it's like you're at Trader Joe's and you go reach for that one more thing and then everything in your hands falls out. It's like you can't grab something else. You can't manifest anything else until you've let something go. And so usually during cleansing cycles, they will do it during a full moon because again, the microbes in your body are on. This is the time to cleanse. We have all this water in our bodies. So that is the optimal time to be releasing. And then after you've shed, right, the moon goes from being this big, bright, just like this light, it goes from being like this big, bright sphere, and it's spotlighting a certain area of our lives. And that area, right, there's 12 months in the year, there's 12 zodiac signs. So the moon is spotlighting a particular part of your life every single month. And the reason why she does that is because it's a wheel. Right? It's so that we don't focus so much on work. We don't focus so much on just home or peopling and our friend. Like, you're literally well-rounded. It supports us in being and feeling better rounded because we're taking little segments of that pie and focusing on it and releasing in each of those areas. Isn't that cool?
I have something to say about that. That sparked me when you said new moon is time to let go, and that's also what's happening in our bodies because we're shedding during the new moon. I mean during the new moon. Okay. And when you start your period again, your follicular phase, you are more energetic. You're very creative. So naturally, you want to start doing like new ideas start popping in. Like you start starting new things, right?
That's very airy.
And then when you get to your menstrual phase again, you're more intuitive, and then okay, all of the things that I started in my follicular phase, ovulation phase, all the new ideas, what actually works for me or not. And so that it all makes sense. Like we're all really connected. You know? So I just wanted to say that, and it all just kind of was like.
Can you connect it back? Because there's new moon. New moon, you said, is when you're supposed to get your period.
New start, fresh start.
Yeah, and then that's when you get your period, your new moon, and then the full moon is ovulation. Can you walk us through the cycles again?
So menstruating, right, which is like our new moon, right? Yeah. Time to shed, time to be more introspective.
I love this connection so much.
And then follicular phase is your springtime, right? That's when you are your energy's coming up, increasing. You have less fear. So this is why naturally you want to start new things, new habits, new ideas. You're very creative during this time. So this is a time where you're you want to start new things, like you're brainstorming, And then ovulation is your summer. And this is when it's you're doing, this is the time to do things.
That's the earth cycle. Okay, what do I need? What are give me the list. All right, this gotta go. That gotta go.
Yeah. And then your luteal phase is your fall, and that's when you're the most detail oriented. So if you've started new things, you started a new podcast or whatever, this is the time where you want to edit things. These are things where you're like, you focus on like very
that's giving earth.
detail. Yeah.
That's giving earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then your menstrual is your winter. And that is when the new moon, right? And that's the time where you're the most intuitive. You see what actually worked for me during this month or not, right?
All of this just
And
makes me feel
so
like
intertwined.
Yeah,
I love
it
it.
is.
it's so intertwined. But for me, it's like this is, I don't know, I just see God in it. I'm like, God made all of this so divine,
Right?
and like we just had to.
We're all so connected.
We just
to
had to mix
everything.
it up. We
The
just had to-
seasons, the moon, the
Absolutely.
tide, the
When
water.
we allow ourselves to be in the rhythm with it.
Yeah. And
No,
I
it's
love how you
beautiful.
mentioned that like every moon like has a different basically a different like
The
what do you
canvas,
say?
a blank
spotlighting
canvas.
a different area
Yes,
of your life.
that's why it's like Scorpio moon,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Cancer moon, or whatever,
Exactly.
right? So how does that like tie into like if Scorpio moon, and it's a Scorpio moon, like does that mean that it's gonna like spotlight her Scorpio moon? Is that what it means?
So when the moon falls in a zodiac sign that's associated with like your big three or any prominent placements in your chart, it just means that you're gonna feel it a lot deeper than someone else would.
Okay.
So and that's like a powerful time to really work and flow with that moon, because the new moons happen every month. We're like, oh, I'll just do the next one. I'll do the next one.
Yeah.
But like the ones that are really pertaining to your chart are like the ones to really like, okay, have a spiritual practice with it.
Yeah.
And actually, just before us doing this podcast, somebody was saying online of like spiritual, like it's spirit and ritual. And it's like these moons are an invitation to have a ritual.
Yeah.
And she was like, nowadays a lot of people don't say that they're religious, they say that they're spiritual. But being part of a religion helps you have a ritual.
Right.
And ultimately, with all this thing, regardless of what people believe in, rituals are what life wants us, because then we're showing dedication.
Right.
We have a consistency. We have an intention.
Right.
And that's what I love about the moon phases, because they support us in having something to focus on.
Right.
Because like for me, like, I get kind of bored easily. So because it changes every month, I'm like, oh, I'm focusing on this part of my life.
Yeah.
It's not like, it doesn't feel boring.
Right.
It's not
Yeah.
the same thing over and over again. Even
Right.
though every new moon is about calling things in and intentions, and every full moon is about letting it go, the part of your life that it's focusing on is different.
Right.
And so it just gives us an opportunity, again, to be like better rounded.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, sorry, I'm gonna ask a question.
No, go for it.
Like, for example, like you say, like they spotlight certain things in your
And you're
chart,
like,
right? So like, how would we know what it's spotlighting? For example, the
Yes.
Gemini moon, you
Yeah.
know, that just passed with the new moon. So how would we know?
So a way to keep it super simple, which I really wish more astrologers would talk about this, because I feel like some of it's kind of gatekeepy, where they're like, I want everyone to come to me for the answers. But I'm like so much Gemini that I'm like, no, I want to share it with everyone and like let everyone know like how they can use this. Yeah. So right now we're in Gemini season. We're celebrating the birthdays of our Gemini friends. So anytime you're in the season, that new moon is going to be the zodiac sign of the birthdays that you're celebrating. So it'll always be that. And then the full moon is the
opposite,
sister
right?
sign. Exactly. It's like the yin to the yang.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Isn't it
because the
dope?
Scorpio moon was in Taurus season.
Yes, mama. Exactly.
Ooh.
That's the sister sign
wow.
to Taurus, Scorpio. The sister sign to Sag is Gemini. And even if you want to keep it even more simple than that, like the ones that are homegirls are like earth and water and fire and air.
We got fire and air over here.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
so when you bring the two elements together, they take shit to the next level. Like I was just doing an astrology reading earlier today, and I was like telling this client of, she has a lot of fire in her chart. And so fire is that friction. Fire is very blunt, honest. I'm gonna keep it real. Let me shoot you straight. The air is the intellect of like, let me just think about this before I say it. Let me be strategic and intentional with it, right? And so when you bring friction and air together, you get this explosion.
Oh, love that.
So that's why it's like your placements are so divine because of that. And that's why too, even just like as friends, you're like, oh my God, like we just get along, we vibe, you know, because it's the yin and the yang. both the Leo and the Aquarius. Those are yin and yang to each other. Those are sister signs to one another. So the full moon is always going to be in the sister sign to whatever season, like the birthday season that you're celebrating.
Right.
And then the new moon is always going to be in the same birthday sign that is being celebrated. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It makes so much
Okay.
sense. Oh my God. Like I'm just, my mind is being blown in so many different ways. Like, one thing I want to highlight is you said nature has a beautiful way of, you said bringing things in and then letting go.
Yes.
Is that how you said it?
Yes.
I want to ask you both how you practice that, because I think, let's call it out, we're operating in a environment that's very much, I mean, not to get there, but like capitalistic, right?
Yeah.
It's about having, keeping.
Yeah.
And even like in everything that we do, like I was thinking about this where I read a lot, but then I'm like, I don't allow myself to just think about what I'm reading. I'm just like reading. Like how often, like when do I stop taking in information and just allow it to exist?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like there's so much like,
or listen to yourself,
or listen to myself. Like, you know, like sometimes it's a little bit of greed that we have, I think innately in America, is like, you want.
Yeah.
How do you balance the letting go part? How do you let go? What do you practice? Like, what do you do? Are there rituals that you have and that you practice? Like, how do we let go?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, knowing like how my body works with like the cycles, I always allow myself to slow down when it's like luteal phase, and allow myself to just like be at home more. And then when I'm menstruating, I find like the older that I get, when I'm in my menstrual cycle, I'm in my menstrual phase, when I'm bleeding, it feels very like sacred. You know, because like I mentioned in the last one, you know, the red tent, you know, like when women used to come together and like share wisdom, and you know,
can we bring that back?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so and they even used to use their blood as like sacred rituals and stuff. And it has a lot of like nutrients and a lot of good stuff in there. Like I know so many people that like use it as face masks.
That's wild.
Yeah, girl. No, yeah, girl.
I don't know if I'm ready for that yet.
No. I know. But like it's so basically what I'm trying to say is like I really allow myself to feel, and I'm a very emotional person, Cancer moon, Pisces Venus. So I allow myself to feel whatever I have to feel that I've been kind of suppressing when I'm in my follicular phase and ovulation phase, that I don't really like. I'm just gonna like, I'm doing it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like right now I'm like, I'm ovulating. I feel good, you know.
Me.
But then like
10,000 plans today.
Yeah. I know you like she sent me an audio. She's like, I did this. And I was like, it's 11 a.m. girl. Like, I was like, good for you. So yeah, when I'm on my period, I really allow myself to like just cry.
I love
That's real.
And
That's
I used to be really like anti-cry. Like,
me too.
Yeah, like no one's gonna see my vulnerable side, like that's a weakness. But now it's like full circle moment. Like I really, really allow myself to just feel it all and cry and talk about it. And I be talking to God. Like I be talking to like my ancestors. I really like to like switch it off and say like ancestors a lot. And it feels like really like my angelitos, like, you know, they're here. Like
truly.
my yeah, like and I really do feel like when I cry, I really cry for like all the
women that didn't get to cry.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think about that a lot when I allow myself to shed, to cry, to be vulnerable, to like, I think about all of like the women before me that never had the space to just like cry and like, you know, had the space to just.
Aren't you making me emotional?
Yeah. It's softened.
It's real. Softened. Yeah.
Because people don't realize.
Yeah.
People don't realize how. I don't know if you can both relate to this, but when you are taught to be so tough and taught that your tears were bad, were weak, and as a Latina woman, like when you're expected to be like the one that holds it down, holds it together, like people don't understand how much toughness it takes to be soft. And like how like tough it feels to even be soft right now. Like, girl, like
it's strength.
It's a process.
It's strength to actually be vulnerable.
It's a process.
And allow other people to see you be vulnerable. You know?
Literally, like why relationships have been a challenge for me is I don't show the vulnerability. is so hard. And then now that I have language to it, I'm like, damn, I wish I could have told younger me, like, damn, you were really heavy in your luteal phase. Like, you were just, or in your menstrual phase, and you were just like really emotional.
Yeah.
But I would have like those 2 weeks out of the month where I'm like, damn, what happened? Like, she was emotional.
Yeah. And
like,
your estrogen falls during your menstrual cycle. So estrogen is what keeps us like, going and like whatever. So when you don't have that, you're like, oh. Like, we felt
that, yeah.
Oh, I didn't really like that.
Does anything
happened,
increase, or is it just a decrease?
Your progesterone increases.
Oh, the
right
word?
after the long one.
The long one I can't
and that's
pronounce.
what like allows you to like just like slow down and be more introspective. And
does your testosterone level just kind of stay steady?
It peaks when you're ovulating. That's why you have that like animalistic libido's high and like like and that's when you're the strongest and you find yourself the most attractive during this time. So it's like the best time. When I used to like train my girls, this is the time when I would tell them to do the like the progress pics. Because this is when they feel like they like the way that they look the most.
I love that you integrate it in that way too.
Right?
That's great, because our bodies, can you talk about how our bodies adapt to these cycles? Because there are moments where our bodies are a little extra bloated, and like, do you know what's happening in our bodies then? Because I do feel like when there's like a week where I'm like, okay, I got morning abs now. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Period.
Yeah. When right after your period, that's when you feel like you're the most snatched, like to ovulation. Yeah. And then right after that, you start bloating. But bloating actually has a lot to do with stress. Your cortisol levels. Yeah.
God, it all goes back
like
to
when we
stress.
drink caffeine in the mornings, like on an empty stomach, it boosts our cortisol, stuff like that.
Oh, is that a thing? I definitely do that.
I tell everybody. And now they like text me, they're like,
I love coffee.
I have you in my voice. I have you in my head, like your voice, like, don't drink coffee on an empty stomach.
Yeah, no,
like,
literally.
No matcha on an empty stomach. Eat something before.
That's gonna be a clip.
Right?
Yeah. Don't eat.
Even the matcha girlies, because everyone's like, oh no,
Oh, matcha too.
No,
matcha too.
It has caffeine.
Anything with caffeine.
Anything with caffeine in the morning. It's like you're
Period.
basically like your basic caffeine just like it raises like your heartbeat, your heart, it like raises makes your cortisol levels high, like so if you do that at the beginning, if you do that at the very beginning of the day, it's like you're already boosting up your cortisol. You're already like the first thing you do is like boost up your cortisol. You're boosting up your stress. Oh,
wow.
Yeah. So eating something, especially if you have like PCOS, like eating something in the very morning when you wake up is like the best way to keep your cortisol.
Which is really common in women of color.
Yeah. Again, we're not taught these things.
Yeah. We're not taught these things.
Yeah.
No.
But you didn't get to say what you do.
So actually, it's so funny that you were just like what you had just said is. So I read this book a long time ago. It's called The 4 Seasons Way of Life, and it's by this guy called Toby Hansen. He's a chiropractor, and he wrote this book. He was a chiropractor for the 49ers and all of these things, but he noticed a lot of what people were going through emotionally and how it physically showed up in their body. And like in yoga and meditation, like they always talk about mind-body connection, mind-body connection. And I was always like the New Yorker in me is like, but what does that really mean? How do we like make that concrete and tangible for me to understand?
Virgo.
Yeah, exactly.
What is the solution?
Yeah.
Truly.
Exactly. Yeah. And so with that, one of the things that he talks about, so that we're honoring the nature's cycles and rhythms naturally every day throughout our day. He was like, for your mornings, think of it as like your spring. Your spring, you're setting an intention for the day. What, like, maybe you're praying. Maybe you're drinking water. Like, as you're drinking water, what do you like, putting in your body? Thinking about what you're putting in your body, whatever liquid it is. And then allow that to be your intention setting. And then from there, he says, as your day starts to move, right, you're moving from spring into summer, and like you're really active in the peak of the afternoon, and you're doing the most, and and then after that, then your day starts to wind down. Generally, like exactly. So that's why I was so excited to like go after you, because I was like, oh, this is gonna come together full circle. And it's like you're in your fall season in the late afternoon where you're starting to slow down. You're starting to be introspective and reflective about the day. You know, what you learned. Maybe you're just like vegging on the couch, a little Netflix and chill, just something to like just slow down. And then in the late evening is when we're really asked to like not be on your phones because you're in your winter cycle. And you're meant to really just be so like introspective. Like that's a great time to like read a book, have a little té, you know, like winding down. For me, what I like to do is at night, like when it's time for me to like get to bed, I shower without the lights on. And it's like my favorite thing to do. Like
that's
a
vibe. No, that's a vibe. Like that is literally and the candle.
The candle.
It's the ritual. That's the ritual.
No chemicals in the candle.
That part.
Santo Rey. I'm all looking at the labels and I'm like, what?
Right?
Soy only. Got it.
Soy
right?
candle. Yeah.
All those Bed Bath and Beyond candles.
Casita candles.
No.
Latina owned.
Victoria's Secret, all that stuff.
Right?
Bullshit. Yeah. No,
yeah, because our people love those things. Whenever I go home, I'm like, Mom, these are so bad for you.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, but our people don't know.
I know.
But evening.
So yeah, the evening, turning off the lights. I like it really dimly lit. So we have like these Himalayan salt light bulbs in our bedroom, and it's just like that reddish light, and it's more natural, you know, with the Himalayan salt. And I'm not on my phone. Like now, since we've been starting like the studio, I've been like, oh my God, just one more thing and one more thing. So now what I've done is I put a notebook by the nightstand and I just write inside the notebook.
Oh, I love that.
So that way I'm not like,
like,
oh my gosh, I have to write this one more thing in my phone or on my to-do list. Cause again, Virgo.
It's never going to end. It's never going to end.
There's
always going to be something to do.
Yep.
So it's like, but where do I meet my body's rhythm in the cycles that it's at? Like I can still write it down, but just in a notebook, you know? So I'm still winding down, and I honestly, like my evenings and my mornings, I really like for them to start slow. Like I definitely work my butt off. I have a lot of like Capricorn in my chart too. So I'm like a workaholic for sure in a lot of ways. And how I allow myself to have a natural rhythm is that my mornings, I enjoy when they start slow. And I also sleep between 9 and 10 hours. So I get a lot of rest. Yeah, because even 8 hours a day, I just heard recently that was based on studies for men and not for women.
Always for men.
Yeah.
Oh, women need so much more sleep than men.
Yeah.
Because I feel that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need sleep.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. So like my evenings are really wind down, like we're not being on the phone and reading. Because actually, if you were to read for just 6 minutes a night, it fatigues your body enough to go to sleep quicker.
Oh, I feel that. When I read at night, I get sleepy.
Right?
Yeah. You're like, okay. So you do this? Do you do this every day?
Yeah. So it's like summer, spring in the morning, summer in the afternoon, fall winding down, and then the winter in the evening. So that way it's like every day. And then when it comes to the astrology, like my husband knows this, where I go ham for full moons. Like I clean the heck out of the house and like vacuum and all the like essence and all of the things, because every full moon is about cleansing and letting go. And it's like, I can't feel grounded to let go if the house feels chaotic. So that's like the ritual for the house.
So how long have you been doing the no phone
at night?
Yeah.
For a while, for a few years.
Because you said that you started syncing with the full moon, and now you get your period on the new moon.
Yeah.
And
I do.
And I'm like making a connection here because our phones mess up our circadian rhythm, right? And so when we're more exposed to like natural lighting and like we do with the cycles with the moon, you naturally sync with the moon.
That is that's such a great observation. Yeah, because you know what? So I've left healthcare for 3 years now. When I was in the hospital, it was on the full moons that I would get my period.
Yeah.
Because I was still into like astrology and all the things. And I would notice that. And then because I haven't been in the hospital and haven't been waking up 6 a.m. for like cases in the OR. Fluorescent lighting for like my whole life. I'm not doing that anymore. You're right. That it's only been like the past 2 years.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
So
the connection,
right?
What did I say?
So back to my point.
My point, exactly.
That's a great observation.
Yeah, that's great.
Do your cycles change based on your period cycles? Like, does your day change? Does your spring look a little different when you're on your luteal phase or your menstrual phase. And I'm asking this because I think about what you said, how men go through the 24-hour cycles and how women go through 28 days. And I'm like, oh, that might work for men to do every single day because there's this 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
So you see, I pay attention, A plus. But I was thinking, does your ritual, does it shift a little bit when you're on your period cycles?
So now this is the first time in like the almost 37 years I've been on this earth that I'm like tracking my period. I've never tracked my period until my homegirl told me about.
37 never looks so good though.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, wait, hold up. She just brushed over that.
I swear it's the yoga and the meditation.
A moment for Tiffany.
Girl, you look like 20.
Thank you,
Oh
love.
my God.
Beautiful.
This is wild.
Wow. Wow. You look amazing. Amazing.
We're both like,
I'm shook. 37. I was like, you mean 27?
Yeah.
you're like, she got that wrong.
Yeah, no. But yeah, no, you look great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
And
no phone at night.
I feel like
No,
so no phone at night.
I'll do whatever she's doing, yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
But I so I literally have just done it for like the past three weeks, maybe 4 weeks. So I'm tracking my period now and noticing, and with this Stardust app, I noticed that like I got my period, which is like I wanted to ask you about this. I got from the start of my period to the start of my second period was only a 3-week cycle. So it wasn't like a full 28 days. It was more like a 21 days. So does that mean anything?
I mean, it really depends like what you did that month too.
Okay.
Were you stressed? Usually
Yeah.
Stress is
Everything
always
goes back to stress.
Yeah, no, and
Girl.
it really is just that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you're in like a huge amount of stress, like it really does affect your body. And that's it. Like that's literally it. It's also obviously diet, lifestyle, but like it all comes down to stress. Like stress.
Because when you're stressed, you can overeat, you can undereat.
Exactly.
Like,
You forget to eat.
you forget
like,
to
yeah.
eat.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to ask you both, because I think like one thing I love that you said is when you're menstruating, you're just like home. And
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I'm
Allow
not doing
myself.
it today.
Yeah.
And I think about people who can't be home, people who have to go to work, and
that is true.
you know, who have to wake up for those meetings, or who have to like just be up and be a mom, or be like, you know, like who don't have the option to rest.
Yeah.
How can they start to integrate rest in their day-to-day lives? Like, how do they make those decisions? You know?
Yeah. I mean, I would say like if, for example, if you're like in corporate, you know, and you got to do the same shit every single day, you know, Monday through Friday, and you are in your menstrual phase, I would say like if you're doing like teamwork, like that's the time where you should just be like allow other people to lead, you know, like just be kind of like whatever you need me to do, like you know, that's why knowing your body and knowing when you're gonna be like in each phase, like you'll know like, okay, I have the energy for this, so I'm gonna do this and this and this, like put me in leader, like I'm gonna do this. But when you're in your luteal phase, you're like, you know what, I'll do like the detail, like I'll do the editing or whatever. And when you're in your menstrual, you're like, you know what, like I don't really have the time for this, like I'll do anything else, the miscellaneous, or like I'll do it next week, or you know, like I'll be, if you need me, I'll be here type of thing, you know. But I know that it's not always possible.
Yeah.
Like for moms, you can't just be like, hey, kids.
I'm gonna take a week off.
Yeah.
Y'all
I'm on
be
my
safe.
menstrual I'm on my menstrual phase right
Y'all
now.
be safe.
So like, yeah, I'm gonna need you guys to like take care of yourselves.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I guess just like finding ways to like, I've actually seen on TikTok like ways to like play with your kids without like stressing yourself. And it's like, she goes on the floor and just takes a nap while she tells the kids to like chalk like her body.
Oh shoot.
You know?
I think I've seen that.
So that's
yeah,
great.
or
I
like
love that.
she gets like Crayola markers and she's like, tattoo me. And like they write that all over her and then they just wipe at the end.
Oh,
you know,
my
like just stuff
goodness.
like that. Like you find ways to like if you don't have the energy for it, like there's ways.
There's
you know?
ways.
You just gotta be creative about it, you know? But yeah, just knowing your body, know when you like, I have the time today, I have the energy today, or like next week I won't, I know that I won't, so I'm gonna set myself up
Exactly.
for, this is how, knowing your cycles, you can plan your lifestyle.
That's what I want to do with like my work life. Like how can I plan it in rhythm with that? Like I do that for like my business and astrology. Like, okay, like we're in Gemini season. Like I've been super creative. So I've been writing down so many ideas, but I know Cancer season is going to be like, introspective. So I'm trying to like execute with the fire.
Time to cry.
Yeah, exactly. And even too, like during the height of the summer is like July, like mid-June to like mid-July. So most of us are by the beach. Most of us are chilling, relaxing, estamos de vacaciones for a reason, because we're in this Cancer season. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do the most now while I have this like fire and air energy, because I know this next cycle I get to slow down a lot more, because the rest of the world is gonna be slowing down.
Right.
But yeah, I'm excited to pair that with my personal cycle of understanding my menstrual better now.
How do you guys track it? Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, in the fact that you're already like sync with the moon.
Yeah,
so
that's
you can
a good
just
point.
like you're just like on it. Like,
yeah.
You know,
Check that
just,
box.
Yeah. You
Next.
You're in
like my boxes.
You're in the flow. You're in the
Virgo
flow.
moon. Yes.
Yeah.
How do you track your cycles? Do you track it like on an app? Do you track it
So
yourself?
I used to do it on an app, and I feel like that really helped me. But now I just kind of know.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
years of doing this, I just know when
Yeah.
I'm ovulating. I know.
Yeah.
But also, like, again, cervical mucus, you get to know. And what was the question you asked me?
It's more so for like people who are like learning about this for the
I would
very
say
first
apps.
time.
I would say apps.
What apps do you recommend?
In the Flow is one. I think just Flow is another one. Like, In the Flow is one. Flow is another one. And there's a whole bunch. But I will say that they're not always accurate with when you're ovulating, because it can change, right? It's automatic. Like the apps are automatic. And so depending on, like, you know, there was certain months where like you have shorter periods, you know, it won't track all of that. And so like if you're, like, say, trying to prevent pregnancy or trying to get pregnant, I wouldn't base it on the apps.
Right.
But just to get into the flow of your rhythm, they're really good, because they'll tell you, they even predict when you're going to get your period and stuff.
I love that. And I love that you said this, because technology can only go so far.
Yeah.
And you have to just know your body. Like, the technology won't know your body.
Yeah. And it's really good to like track your energy levels, like on your calendar, you know, like put a little happy face, put a sad face, like,
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. And you'll get to see like your own patterns too.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's when I went into my luteal phase. Like,
That's a great point.
know?
There's this app I used to use a lot called Dailyo. And with that app, you're able to track how you're feeling. So it's like, you know, when you go to a restroom and it's like happy, sad in the middle, like you just select that. And then you could put the activities that you're doing during that time that, you know, that you were sad or happy. And for me, it helped me stay consistent with my routines of like, oh, I feel better when I do XYZ for myself. And seeing like the chart, and the patterns and the progress, I'm like, oh, okay, that helped me. That was like the little dopamine hit that I needed to like, okay, I'm gonna keep doing this habit for myself, because I was able to track it. And I think that's just like really supportive with all of this, because eventually, like, you won't, like, I don't use the app anymore. Like, a lot of these rituals or habits are innate, but to start somewhere with it.
Yeah. And if you're really trying to get like, you're really trying to know exactly your temperature in the mornings, like, is really accurate. And you'll know when you ovulate.
Your temperatures.
Yes, if you
Like,
take your temperature in the mornings. Yes.
Really?
And you'll know exactly when you're gonna ovulate. You know exactly when your period is coming.
Based on the temperature?
Yes.
That's what they track with like the Aura rings and stuff like that, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
those-
That's a new poppin' thing right now.
Yeah. So there's like these like rings, like wellness rings, or Ultra Human is another one that tracks. Like, my homegirls use this to track their period, and to like understand, like, it'll give you an alert, like your temperature is a little bit higher. So one, you could either be fighting off an infection, or you could be getting your period.
I did not
Yeah,
know
because
this.
right after ovulation, your temperature rises.
Because she in heat.
Yes. Yes. And basically, your body's
literally.
basically preparing for pregnancy. You're
my
to a
goodness.
warm environment for the baby.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's so cute.
So
These are so amazing.
I know.
Can we talk about how
I
divine
know.
women are?
I know.
Stop
I
it.
And the body.
The
And the fact that we
body.
have like different
The
superpowers with different
body.
phases, like,
Different
you know.
Girl.
Yeah.
It's about the reframe too.
It's
Because,
a
you
superpower.
know, it'd be like, damn, I really have to go through this every month.
No,
Like,
you
it's
get
crazy.
to go through
I
it
get
every
to
month.
go through it every month.
Yes.
What a privilege.
Yeah.
What a privilege to be a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is so beautiful. How do women that don't have access to like healthcare Like, how do they like navigate this system? Because I was thinking about how many women in my life, like from my friend who got a hysterectomy, like she was going through a lot of like stuff with her body, and like a lot of women I know, we just go through a lot with our bodies, and we don't see our periods. Like we get to have it, like it's like a here it is again, and like the cramps and this and that, and we don't have access to this information, and we go to doctors, try to figure it out. How do you recommend women move in this system or in this world where they don't have access to healthcare, the resources? Where can they go to find those resources, and how can they just start showing up for their bodies?
Sorry.
Another 10 questions in one.
It is really hard because I feel like I don't have a lot of like resources to give out because there isn't any. There isn't a lot, you know, and
Jackie's the resource.
Yeah. But, you know, and I don't want that to be like discouraging because we are waking up, like we are talking about it, and there are a lot of more like women trainers that know about this, you know, there are a lot more doctors that know about this, finally. But I would say for sure just getting to know like your body and like really listening to your body, and like the apps are a great way to start. And then like I wish I could say like go to your doctor, and like they'll know what to say, what to say, but they don't. And there aren't a lot of spaces that are talking about this and that know about this, you know. But I feel like slowly, you know, things like this. I know there are a lot of podcasts, there are books. There are like YouTube channels on this. There are like a lot of TikToks about this now, about wellness. Wellness is a thing now, you know, like it's people are waking up, you know. So I think even though there isn't like a specific place, I would say like we have our phones, you know, like we have so much access to so much information. So yeah, I would say books really help me. The Fifth Vital Sign is one. In the Flow, those two are like one of my favorites. And the Fifth Vital Sign is basically telling us how like our period is our fifth vital sign. And it's like basically telling us like what's wrong every single month. We just listen, you know, if we just listen. And it is a vital sign. So again, like it's not a burden. It's just like
we get to have it.
We get to have it. We get to have different superpowers every single month. You know?
Can you make sense of the 24-hour cycle versus 28-day cycle for men and women?
So you explained it really well. Like the way that we feel within the 28-day cycle, men feel that within a day.
Like the
24
spring,
hour.
fall.
That's exactly how men work. Like their testosterone is the highest in the morning. And then it just like decreases, right? That's why they have
the hormone levels that kind of shift.
Morning wood, you know, like their testosterone is highest, you know, and ours is highest when we ovulate. And we only ovulate one day, but we're in an ovulation phase within 3 to 4 days.
That's so crazy.
So our testosterone is highest when we're ovulating. Right. So that's when our energy peaks as well.
This makes me feel so good knowing that this world was built by a man for a man, and that's why we're not crazy. And we're not like, we're not unqualified, we're not too tired to work, we're not like feisty and spicy and too emotional,
hysterical, lunatic.
We're just women. And this world was not built for women. That just makes me feel like there's peace in that.
There's so much compassion in knowing that, like so much more compassion for ourselves and for other women that like we go through a lot of shit having to like be in a man's world and like having to keep up with a man, you know, that we're not supposed to. We don't work the same way, you know.
And it's like, how do I adapt? You know, like whether it's not being able to do it at your 9 to 5, but like outside of work, it's like, okay, I'll plan the peopling during the peak seasons when it's I have more energía para hacer eso, and if not, it's like, you know, I feel like. Because whenever I explain like to my family back home or like my friends back home, it's like, you know, New York, this is like a lot of these conversations are not normalized. So it's just like, you know, just like this reminder of like, yes, for them, I feel like it's hard for them to grasp like these concepts, but it's like, dude, if your body's not feeling it, like you're talking about the vital signs, like just listen to your body. Like if it's not feeling it, it's not feeling it. And that's fine.
And why are we so like against resting?
That part.
So, girl, cultural,
yeah,
like systemic,
yeah,
all the things.
And we have like times where like the moon is telling us to rest.
Yes.
You know, like our phase is telling us to rest.
Yep.
Like, and we just don't.
Have you seen those memes? It's like, y'all saw this and created Excel sheets. Y'all saw this world and created 9 to 5s.
Yeah,
like, crazy,
but
crazy.
They were meant to serve men because that's how they work 24 hours. They can do the same thing every single day.
But
Their
that's why I'm like,
hormones work.
there's so much peace in knowing this because we try so. I mean, think about it as women. Like, remove the people of color, remove like the cultural aspect. Like, just as women trying to fit into a man's world and never feeling like we can, it's because we're not meant to. And then on top of that, like being a woman of color, being a Latina, being like in these spaces trying to fit in, it's like now you have a whole cultural aspect, and now you have like other things that you're battling. And your first gen on top of it.
Yeah.
And your first gen on top of all of it. And you're
Yeah.
just doing it for the first time. You're first genning it.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes it'd be lonely trying to figure it all out.
Yeah,
like being
it's
a
a
woman,
lonely
being a Latina
journey.
woman, being like
Yeah.
in the
And
workplace.
First gen.
And I feel like
all
that's
of
why
it.
coming together in community is so important.
Yeah.
We need more of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
This
Where
is when
we
we
like,
heal. We heal in community.
We feel
Absolutely.
in
You know?
community. The
That's-
red tents. I'm
yeah,
gonna
the
bring
red
that back.
tents. The red
gonna bring
tents.
that
I'm bringing
back.
that back. Yeah.
Next event, Hella Latina red tent.
Yeah.
Just all of us posted up.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all in sync?
Yeah.
No, is there anything that we haven't covered? I feel like we asked you so many questions, but is there something that you're like, we need to know, we need to talk about this?
I mean, we talked about birth control, which is a big one. I mean, I feel like we cover like the big stuff. Yeah.
I'm like, because I'm thinking about other things, I'm be like, damn, part 3.
I know part 3. There's
Here
just so
for it.
much.
Here for it.
There's so much
honestly
to talk about.
Yeah,
There's so much to
but,
talk about.
I mean, do you guys have any other questions?
I feel like I covered.
Yeah.
I think I
you
just
got
I
good.
just think about
Good stuff.
women, like the young women that are growing up
Yeah.
in this world,
Yeah.
and how we can like educate them
Yeah.
and put them on, because I wish I knew all this information when I was younger.
Me too.
I would have so much more grace for myself
Me too.
instead of feeling like I'm always failing. I'm like, "Ugh, why can't I show up at work today, or why didn't I do that event right? And like,
Yeah.
you know, now I'm like, damn,
Why is there resistance?
Why is
to,
there
like,
resistance?
me doing this? You know,
Yeah.
even though I really wanted to do it last week.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
because like we're changing, like our moods are
Yes.
changing. Like we're not built to, you know, when we make plans and we suddenly don't want to do them anymore. You know, we like start projects and we're like, this doesn't feel aligned anymore. You
Yes.
know, our
Oh
bodies are
my
literally
goodness.
telling us like
Yeah.
that's not working for you.
And you
Bro.
try to
Following the rhythm.
intellectualize it and rationalize it, like, oh, maybe something's going on. Like,
It's me. I'm crazy.
Yeah.
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 No.
okay, if you can
not.
if you can rule the world and build a whole new world where it's like centered around women or for women, what would it look like? What would you do?
You go first.
I feel like I would introduce people to foods that are optimal for their well-being. Like I'm really big into medical astrology. Like it's
Yeah.
the cousin to self-care astrology, which is what I focus on. And like a lot of us can eat certain foods that are optimal based on our astrology. Like both of us have prominent placements of Virgo, and so Virgo tends to have a very sensitive stomach. So Virgo does well with like more vegetarian based foods and less meats. And like even before I even knew that, like there was a time just before the pandemic where I was vegetarian for like 2.5 years. And I just did it. I didn't do it because someone told me or I read something. It was just like, I feel like I need to do this.
Yeah.
And then I did it for a long time. And then I realized like, oh, I can't be like completely no meat. I still need the meat because I've noticed like how it gives me energy. Or even like the other day, Matrix made me bison, like while I was on my period. And he was like, this has double the amount of iron than beef does. So like, and I was like, oh, like just ways that we could optimize our body through food, because I think a lot of the issues that we experience is based in the gut.
Yeah.
And a lot of like the stress and like all of that, like we're also not eating to optimize it. So like how do we eat? And that's something that I'm also discovering more for myself of like how much protein am I getting? One of my girlfriends is like really good with it, and she's just really opened up my eyes to it of like, yeah, I made a fruit salad and these are all the fruits that are high in antioxidants, so I don't get sick when I'm grinding, you know, like when I am like in that peak season. I was like, oh, that's what's up. I never even thought to do that, you know, like just different things like that. I think learning how we can optimize our meals for our well-being and our cycles that we're in, I think that would be clutch because it would have a ripple effect in the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Oh,
And,
I love that.
Food is medicine.
Food is
fuel,
medicine.
you know? Yeah.
It's what we put in our bodies.
Yeah.
Right?
It's so important. What we put in is what we get out. Period.
Yeah.
Period. But for me, I feel like the only thing that really came up is like I would really want to build I would bring villages back. You know, like community, like being outside more and really just honoring like our cycle as women. It would just be like if we're all outside and if we're all syncing with the moon, then there's going to be a time where none of us are going to work. None of us, you know. So we just no responsibilities, just be together, bleed together, you know, cry together. I think that would be like, yeah, that would be my perfect world.
Yeah. I love that. I was thinking like in this world that we're operating in, I would love for like women to have a week off. Like women can just have a week off, or if women can just create their own thing and not have to try to fit into this like system.
Yes.
Like I want more women. That's why Latina women are such big entrepreneurs. They're like, let me do this on my time, on my terms.
We
like,
need to be in this world.
We need to be.
Yeah.
And I think it's like about encouraging our people to do that because sometimes we get caught in chasing the American dream and it having to look a certain way. Like you're talking about your friend that went to all of these prestigious schools and all, like she checked all the boxes on the American dream and has this lack of fulfillment.
Yeah.
And astrologically, I feel like we're seeing a shift with like Pluto being in Aquarius of like innovation and people just trying to think outside the box. And wanting to like live life differently, whatever that looks like for them, but they're like, this ain't working. Like I've done it, got the t-shirt, got the hat, it's not working. So let me try something else. Pop in.
Listen, if I can say anything positive about being in America is this possibility that you can create something new. There's a possibility.
At any time.
At any time.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I'll give America credit for it. Like that is a mindset that I want to keep because we can create that. We can create that. And I do believe that there's a shift happening currently, and I feel it. We all feel it.
I feel it.
And
I feel it.
I think it's going to be a good shift.
Yeah.
It might be a little scary, but like I think it's a good shift that we need because we need a new system. It's not working.
It's not working.
It's not
And
working
we're
for
pushing.
us.
We're pushing. Women, we're pushing. Like we're really like.
Aren't we always?
Yeah, I mean,
Aren't we-
true.
We
But
always
like now,
first.
it's like I feel like now more than ever, it's like I feel like a feminist like a push of like this is it and like that's it. Like we're not taking no for an answer. Like this is who we are. Like yep.
You want to know what I just learned from my homegirl Camila? Shout out. She told me that there is a professor that studies dictatorships, and he said that in his studies, what he's seen is always women that sense things first. So even like major dictatorship events, the women always flee first, or they get their kids and they flee. Women intuitively have a feeling.
Bro.
We know.
Intuition.
We know when something bad is coming, good is coming, when there's a big shift happening, and we make decisions. Even if, and there's like in his study, men are always the passive ones. They're always the one that's like, oh, you worry too much. It's going to be okay.
Gaslighting. Gaslighting.
Yep. But women always know.
We do.
There's a shift.
We know when
That's
you're
our
lying.
superpower. Intuitions are superpower.
Our intuition. Yeah.
So anyway, someone asked me one time, they're like, okay, but do you think sometimes women just have intuition when it benefits them? And I'm like, I mean,
like wishful thinking, maybe.
yeah.
Like,
Well, we can be a little delulu, but that's what makes us powerful too.
Yeah, exactly. We need to stay delulu.
Right.
Yes.
Stay delulu.
Yes.
And aware and delulu. They can
We know.
coincide.
Yeah, they can coexist.
Period.
Yeah. The duality.
Thank you both for being here, and thank you both for talking about this and putting our community on. Last question I want to ask you that everyone can take away is, because we live in a stressful society and world, what's one thing that people can do that's helped you manage stress?
What has helped me manage stress?
Or get rid of it?
Honestly, to be quite honest, I just don't give a fuck about shit. Like, if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do
Aquarius
it.
side?
Yeah.
Is that
I'm
The
not
rebel,
going to do it.
yeah.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And if I said that I was going to do it, and if the day comes and if I don't feel like doing it, I'm not going to do it. Like, I'm not going to stress myself. And I've learned the hard way that, like, it's really my intuition telling me, like, it's just not today. It's just not today. Maybe I'm not saying, like, I'm canceling it forever, but I'm not doing it today. I'm not going to add more stress to myself. Like, I feel like just being just being right now is a lot. It's stressful. Like feeling
Existing,
like being
breathing.
an empath. Yeah, being an empath. Like there's so much going on, and like, you know, like it's just there's always something on your plate, and if you feel like it's just not aligning with you, like I am the number one. I tell all my friends like it's okay to cancel. Like cancel. It's okay to not show up. It's okay. Like show up for yourself. Like if you're not feeling it, show up for yourself. Like before you show up for anybody else. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So that has been, and it has been hard to like just set boundaries, you know, with my family, with friends, even when it's like so freaking hard and people don't understand what boundaries are. And I have to reinforce like it feels
like,
yeah, like, oh, so you don't love us?
Yeah.
Like, oh, so you you know, like they're just always trying to like, you know. But anyways, that's probably like what has really, really helped me. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I need some more of that.
Yeah. It's hard. No, I know it's easier said than done, but I think with practice, like you learn that like, okay, I come first.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not responsible for people's reaction to me choosing myself, you know?
Ooh,
and
that's a bar.
Yeah.
That is a bar.
Because as Latinas and as women, we're taught to just be submissive and be nice and go with the flow and calladita se ve más bonita, you know? But I'm like, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And I have gotten like, you're just a bitch. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. Like, I'm cool with that. Yeah. I really am cool with like
You're cool with that perception that they have of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, if that's what you want to call
yourself.
me, that's
You're
fine.
like, that's not me.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, you just don't know me. You know, you just don't know me, and that's fine. You know.
Yeah.
But it was really, really hard at first. But with practice, I feel like it really, and I feel like when you do it, it allows other people to do it as well. Like, you know.
Absolutely.
So I think that's what's really, really you have to have a backbone now. Like you have to say, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
You know? Like I don't feel like it. And no is a full answer. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to explain yourself, you know? So I think that's what's been helping me.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
I feel like with us like opening up the studio so recently and everything moving so quickly, just like having these different breathing exercises has been super helpful. I remember like, I guess like 6-7 years ago now when I was like first introduced to breath work, it was like, I remember the aha that I came out of it was like, oh, I have everything that I need. I have everything that I need. I don't need to purchase something. I don't need to like be in certain clothing. I have everything that I need to like provides that safety for myself and my nervous system. And so that's like been like my OG go-to for like the past few years.
The breath work.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. I actually just did a chakra, like 7-week chakra, like course. And every chakra that we were going through every week, like there was different breath works for it.
Oh, cool.
And,
to like
she taught
activate
us-
it?
Yeah, and to like, or if it's overreactive or overactive, how to like soothe or like, you
that's
know,
beautiful.
or like open up your throat chakra, you know, like stuff like that. Certain breath works for your heart chakra in case you're feeling like very like, you have a lot of anxiety, you know, like the longer the exhale, the more it like regulates your nervous system or something like that. That's what I've learned. Is that true?
Yeah, for sure. Which is
like
why
Right.
whenever we feel stressed, and you kind of mentioned this earlier, we like,
Yeah.
we naturally do that. All of us do. And so it's our body's way of self-regulating. It's extending that exhale. So that way we like find the natural rhythm of slowing down.
I love that.
We innately do it. Our bodies do it on its own.
Yeah.
And whenever I hear that, like whenever I'm back home and I hear my mom do that, I'm like, Mom, let's do some like breathing exercises. You know, I don't even tell her why, but you know, just because I'm getting that signal.
Yeah. And it's crazy, like just the breath. It's just like the breath. Just focus on your breath.
Yes.
And like everything else will just like, you know, you feel more present.
Yes.
You know, you feel like more connected to your body. You feel more relaxed. Like, it all comes down to the breath.
You know, speaking of stress though, it's like, I was thinking about this as you were both answering. Like the way I handle stress is that it's simplicity. Like it's not that like it does not have to be that complicated.
Yeah.
Like when situations happen at work, because corporate, they love to create work for themselves and like be busy, I'm like, it ain't that serious. It's not that complicated.
It's never.
And it's just like, even that, like, stop caring so much about the things that I'm like, you don't even see that you're doing this, but I see it and I know that it's fine.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It don't got to be
Being
that
aware
deep.
of what they're saying and what they're not saying.
What they're not saying.
You know?
Yeah. I see everyone as like a inner child now.
Yeah.
Like, I just see everyone as
Oh,
inner
that's
child.
cute.
No, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, he just really wants like someone to be like,
Yeah.
Yeah. He's looking for validation. I'm gonna give it to him. You know?
and exactly, but
Yeah.
it gives you more like compassion, and it's just like, let me give him some words of affirmation.
Yeah, and more like patience, you know, for
Yes.
people and like for yourself. Like you don't react to things. You're like, oh, he's probably going through like, you know, some shit, you know? Yeah.
Like when someone cuts me off in the freeway, I'm like, oh, he's probably having a bad day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to you. Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
I love this. I love y'all. Thank you for this.
Thank you for introducing
It
us.
was so good.
So good. This is a beautiful Latina moment.
It
Beautiful
is.
Latina moment. Community.
Our ancestors will be proud.
Absolutely.
Community's gonna heal us, man.
Yeah.
Community's gonna save us. It's gonna heal us.
Yeah.
All the
We're
things.
healing generational trauma right here.
Yeah.
We definitely are.
Truly.
Especially
Truly.
with women, the women that came before us.
The woman that when you
We're
said that,
sharing our wisdom.
when you said that,
We're sharing our wisdom.
and women naturally have wisdom. That is the femininity. That is like our power. Is
Yeah.
intuition and
innate.
wisdom.
Yeah. That's why we have menopause.
Period.
To share wisdom.
I like
That's
how
the
we
time.
keep saying period. I'm like, punny.
Period.
Period.
Yeah.
Punny period. But I just think that we have so much wisdom, and it's been like masked as like, you're too weak, or oh my God, it's so deep. It doesn't have to be that deep. And I'm like, damn, but it is.
But it is.
But it is.
Yeah.
And let me put you on.
Yeah. And we gotta put men on.
We gotta put men on.
Yeah.
Gotta
Because they're the missing link.
Yeah.
You know?
You saw that video, that TikTok of that
Which
guy
one?
saying like about the cycles?
Oh, the one you sent us?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like,
Guys are being put on. Guys are being put on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Because then they know how to show up for us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
And they
Even
know that
learning
we
about
don't
the
work same
24-hour
way.
cycle, I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Men
Yeah.
could just be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
That's literally what is the only difference between men and women, our hormones. We're like 99.9% like the same. It's just our hormones that we have to
ay,
learn.
santo rey. And no one teaches us.
But we're doing it.
We're doing it.
And we're teaching them.
Shout out to the producer.
Yeah.
The man in the back with the hat.
With the hat.
With the hat matrix. Puerto Rican, Latino.
Oh, there you go.
Keep going.
Like all
Put
the-
Latino men on. It's real. It's
Yeah.
real. Latino men. Not
Yes.
just Latino men.
Just men in general.
Men.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for
good.
the
It was so
time.
good. It was so good. Thank you for
So
having us.
good. So good. All right. And cut.